whatever you wind up doing is exactly what you should be doing.
And I have not behaved one single day of my life. Not one day of my life have I behaved, and I am fine.
I need your help. I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're gonna hurt some people.
Whose car are we gonna take?
It's Friday! Happy Friday, everybody, and thank you for joining us on the Nikki Medoro Show. I swear to God, Kim, you cannot turn on your television in the Bay Area without hearing about APEC. And at some point this morning, we'll talk about if they're able to clean the streets for this week, why can't we just keep it that way? Why can't we just keep it that way?
I'm sorry, sir. You're going to have to move your tent. You're going to have to clear this
where are they
homeless
going?
encampment away. Like,
Yeah.
didn't have a problem doing it now.
I thought the whole thing was they weren't able to move these people. They're able to when they want to. They're able to when the eyes of the world are on them. And so, yeah, I just find it a little disingenuous, but it is what it is. Joe Manchin, I love how a moderate from West Virginia, pain in the ass is what I had to call him. He's not going to seek re-election. And I laughed out loud. I'm not even kidding. I laughed out loud because he just wants more attention, in my opinion. I'm going to travel the nation. To what exactly? To run for president? How many of you think that Joe Manchin has a shot in hell to even put up a fight in the next presidential election? Although some people were saying maybe he would team up with Mitt Romney, who also is not seeking re-election. Mitt, I have mixed feelings about. I like him a bit better than Manchin, although not entirely. But when you have someone that is a senator of a state, you kind of want to look at how well is that state doing to see how they're doing, how this person would do being in charge of the nation. West Virginia is 50th when it comes to healthcare and infrastructure, 47th in economy, which, you know, when everyone talks about it's the economy, stupid, do we want someone that state ranks 47th to be in charge of the country? I guess the best ranking that they have, they're number 18 in crime and corrections. And let's see, they're also 18 in opportunity, whatever the hell that is. Yeah, you have the opportunity to, let's see, what's opportunity, affordability. Yeah, you can get a house in West Virginia, but they're 48th in economic opportunity. So yeah, it's affordable to live there. Okay, so it doesn't cost a lot to live there, but making money in West Virginia, no, not so good. Let's see, their median household income in West Virginia is about $51,000. They have a 16.8% poverty rate. The national one is 12.8. The things that Manchin voted against and held up just until he got what he wanted really pissed off a lot of people. And of course, the question now is Democrats only hold 51 to 49 majority in the Senate. Manchin's out. I don't foresee West Virginians electing a Democrat to replace Manchin, so that's probably going to go red. West Virginia's Republican governor is a man by the name of Jim Justice, which you get a gold star for like a really cool name.
Yeah, you do.
Jim Justice, like seriously, that's awesome. He's
Vote
term limited.
Jim Justice for governor.
Justice, exactly. Like it just writes itself. He's already
We
announced
put the
plans.
bad guys away.
He wants to run for Manchin's seat, and so that's a Republican governor.
Jim Justice, Senator Justice.
Yeah, I mean. It is really cool. I love people that have really cool last names like that. Like it's life is just a little bit easier for you, you know? Now, in a statement following Manchin's announcement, Montana Senator Steve Daines issued a brief statement, says we like our odds in West Virginia. I think I had a little bit. Did I have a little bit? Yeah, I had a little bit of Manchin's announcement. Oh, but I lost it. Oh, they took the video down. Nobody really gave that much of a crap. But yeah, he's basically sitting at a desk. No, actually, I do want to play it for you because I think it's important for you to hear what he is saying, because obviously a lot of people are thinking that he's going to run for president. So here he is. Hold on, let me just back it up a little bit. And this is a report from ABC News. Here we go.
Red state.
I believe in my heart of hearts that I have accomplished what I set out to do for West Virginia.
Really?
The move has huge
Really?
implications
You're
for
not
Democrats'
ranking very
ability to
high.
hold on to the Senate and possibly the White House. Manchin today clearly leaving the door open for a third-party presidential run.
What I will be doing is traveling the country and speaking out to see if there is an interest in creating a movement to mobilize the middle and bring Americans together.
Manchin is affiliated with a group called No Labels that is exploring a centrist unity ticket in 2024. They are already on the presidential ballot in 12 states, including several key battlegrounds. But Democrats warn they could play spoiler, taking votes away from President Biden and benefiting Donald Trump.
No.
Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has called No Labels perilous to democracy. Biden has called their efforts a mistake. The president today with auto workers in Illinois, taking a victory lap after they won a new contract. Biden reminding those workers he joined them on the picket line, the first president in history to do so, and Donald Trump did not.
Here's the difference. When you're in the middle of a fight, I stood and others stood with you shoulder to shoulder on that picket line. My predecessor went to a non-union shop and attacked you. I hope you guys have memory. Where I come from, it matters.
So, I mean,
now, yelling. Yes,
I know,
he did.
Yes, he did. Hold on. I forgot to put Matthew up. Hold on. I knew my Friday was
Yes,
a
he
little
did. By the way, speaking of noise, you might hear musical instruments this morning.
Oh, yeah. The kids are home, right?
The kids are home. It's because it's the Veterans Day weekend. And today in Petaluma, we have the biggest parade, Veterans Day parade. In the North Bay. It's today, and
why isn't it tomorrow?
I don't know, but I have a member of the Petaluma High School marching band who lives here, who brought her uniform home with her big fuzzy hat and everything. And there's been practicing, and there's been cacophony of noise and instruments.
Oh, she's been up early. What time does she have to be out there?
I think they have to leave pretty soon and go out there. But if you hear, if she marches into the room, this is why.
So are you going to miss it?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, what time does it start?
I forget. I think it might start 10 or 11. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry that you have to miss it.
No,
You
they'll
should
tape
have
it
told
for me.
me.
They'll tape it for me. It's all right.
Yeah, we're so my mother-in-law's, just a side note on this. Happy early Veterans Day to all of our veterans. And my mother-in-law's birthday is November 11th, so it's always on Veterans Day. So she always gets a parade for her birthday.
Awesome.
Yeah, so my father-in-law, mother-in-law, and my husband will go down tomorrow morning, get a spot in it's in downtown San Jose, and watch the parade. So we'll see.
Oh, you made me question myself, and I looked it up, and I'm so wrong. It's tomorrow.
What? Okay, good. I was like, why are they doing? It's a Saturday.
Yeah,
Why not?
I thought I was going to miss it. I had been a little bummed about it.
So she is just practicing then. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Yay. I'm kind of bummed. I'd be like, if Veterans Day is on a Saturday, it should get good crowds. Because sometimes, sadly, if it's during the work week, the parades are kind of minimal, and my in-laws are often in the parade. They're not this year, but they're often in the parade because they have the military vehicles, and so I always am like, how was the parade? How was it? Because usually I'm working.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you to Harry that gave us a $5 donation to the Super Chat. Happy Friday! I need my Medoro Mule and Kimikaze.
That's
Where's my
right.
Red Jack fix? You have to go to San Francisco. Lori or Mark, if you're listening right now, I wonder, are they preparing for big crowds? Because, I mean, they're anticipating a ton of people, right? Being in San Francisco this weekend. There's the Red Jack. So go get your whatever you're in the mood for. There it is. You can get a martini, a Kimikaze, or the Medoro Mule.
We love our Red Jack.
All three.
They're so nice to us, and we just
I
adore them.
Yeah. So, and go say hi to Lori and Mark, because They are so much fun to hang out with. I'm telling you, and this is such a fun bar. It's not hoity-toity. You know what I mean? Like you get a nice drink for a nice price with very nice people. So there you go. Okay, real quickly though, I just want to wrap up on Manchin and Biden. I did read a headline this morning though that UAW workers at the GM plant narrowly rejected the contract, but obviously it's based on all UAW members, so they're still thinking it's going to pass, but that's obviously something that sucks. But I want to play you this funny video. Where did it go?
Why did they reject the contract? Just not enough money for them? Because they got a big old raise.
Hold on. I had it right up and then I accidentally closed my thing.
I'm sorry.
So, no, it's okay. So they narrowly voted against the proposed contract. 51.8% of votes cast were against it. GM would not comment on it. Let's see. It's not guaranteed, obviously, if you have some people voting against it. I'm trying. It doesn't say. Reuters is not saying exactly. Oh, here. I think it has to do with the pay. UAW's new agreement grants a 25% increase in base pay through 2028, will cumulatively raise the top wage by 33% compounded, with an estimated cost of living adjustment to over $42 an hour. Eric Gordon is a business professor. He's quoted by Reuters as saying the chances of GM putting more than another 15 cents on the table are low. So I'm assuming it has to do with the money. But yeah, I don't understand why they've rejected it, but they did. Mm-hmm. So, but again, I don't think, obviously it's not guaranteed, but I do think that most people believe that UAW workers overall at all the different plants will approve the contract negotiation. But you definitely, obviously it doesn't bode well if the GM plant workers rejected it. Now, we saw in that ABC report, Biden was accurately pointing out that he has stood with the union workers. He's a union guy, and he's never hit it either. He's a labor union person. And
wasn't that he was the first president to go stand on the during a strike with the picketing workers, right?
Exactly. So that's huge. But here he is, I love when Biden, I know we always talk about his age and can he take on Trump? He is kind of funny though, and I know my bias is showing because I'm anti-Trump. But here he is, and this was making the rounds yesterday. I just thought it was funny.
And that means good paying jobs for American auto workers. That also means, let's think about this. When my predecessor, the distinguished, anyway. When my predecessor was in office, 6 factories closed across the country. Mm-hmm. Tens of thousands of auto jobs were lost nationwide. And on top of that, he was willing to cede the future of electric vehicles to China.
Yep.
He said if America invested in electric vehicles, it would drive down wages. It would destroy jobs. It would spell the end of the American automobile industry.
Yes, he did.
Almost everything else he said, he's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You have proved him wrong.
Yeah, and so, I think that Biden, yes, his age is a concern. I'm not saying it's not. It is a concern. But so is Trump's, right? I mean, and in all honesty, so is anybody's. I mean, look at John Fetterman, right? John Fetterman had a health scare. Look at McConnell. I don't know what glitch is happening to him, but he's had some sort of health scare. Like, these things can happen to people at any age. So just because somebody is older doesn't guarantee that they're not going to be able to finish their time in office. Now,
you have a vice president.
Yeah, right? That's why you have a vice president. And it's not as if, look, even though, yes, I don't want Trump. I think that he's a bully. I think that he doesn't actually get a lot of things done. The staff, the people you surround yourself with, the appointments that you make are just as important. No president can do everything by themselves. You delegate, right? And you make decisions. And so it's not as if Biden can't do that. But he had one more funny clip that happened yesterday. Again, this is when he was talking to the United Auto Workers and addressing kind of the fact that he's getting up there in age.
That's not too much to ask. You okay? I want the press to know that wasn't me.
Then he kind of like dances around. Watch him. Kind of dances around. I'm like, he's like, I'm fine. I can walk. And can you ever see Trump doing that? Can you ever see Trump being so self-deprecating? Never would he do something like that at all. Everything is like, oh, I'm the best. I'm do everything I want to. He's just awful. And
that was kind of a good Trump voice you just laid out there. I'm the best. I'm not gonna.
He's just so annoying. And so, and again, things just aren't getting done right now. I mean, I don't know. We're very close to another government shutdown, right? The House GOP is in shambles. They're not getting anything done. They're focused on things that don't actually matter. I think I've read one. Now he was a Democrat, but he was just laying out point by point all of the things that the House GOP would rather focus on than actually doing their job. This is a Democrat by the name of Sean Casten. It's hard. I love how he starts this thread. He's like, it's hard to explain how dysfunctional the House GOP is and the degree to which their own internal divisions are superseding every normal function of government. But I'm going to try. And then he lays out all of these things, starting off first with the fact that they try to pass things that don't, in a way that's not even lawful or that's never going to get passed. Let's see. He's all, you may recall the summer the House GOP threatened to default on U.S. debt unless we agreed to future spending rules. The deal was struck that passed the House and was signed into law to do so. The 30% cut was not consistent with that law, aka it was illegal. By contrast, the straight 45-day continuing resolution that cost McCarthy his job was legal. So they fired McCarthy because obeying the law was a red line, apparently, for the House GOP. They used the first 20 days of that 45-day period to fight over a new speaker. And then Sean Casten says, should we pick someone who hates gay people, fought to overturn the election, or creeps on his son's porn? It took a while, but the House GOP finally said yes to all three with Mike Johnson. And he just continues to go out, and he said, they're not doing anything that's real. He says, what has been done? A bill to prevent the government from using the word Latinx, a bill to cut White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre's salary to $1, a bill to defund the Office of Gun Violence Prevention, a bill to eliminate the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, a bill to cut SEC Chair Gary Gensler's salary to $1, a bill to prevent the government from developing greenhouse gas disclosure rules. I mean, these are the things that the House GOP thinks are at the top of everyone's mind. And again, aren't going to pass because the president is never going to sign these. So they're just wasting time. And he says 7 days from a shutdown. This is your House GOP. These are the people that apparently are better equipped to run this country, according to some conservatives. And it's completely nonsense. So, I mean, am I optimistic of the next election? Perhaps, but I don't know how many people are paying attention, Kim. And that's my worry is, are they paying attention, or are they just, staying in their conservative echo chamber and not realizing that nothing's getting done? And again, government employees are not going to get paid. We shouldn't have to come up to this line so often. It's absolutely ridiculous.
If you listen to we all listened to what you just said about the bills that were proposed, it all sounds very vindictive, and nasty. Cut her salary to $1, cut his salary to $1.
Yeah.
That's not the business of the American people.
Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about that.
That's not getting our work done. That's not why you were sent there, to be a total a-hole. Yeah. You were sent there not to do vindictive, weird little things that weren't going to pass or matter. You were sent there to do the business of the American people. So you're spinning your wheels, doing ugly things instead of doing what we want.
Exactly.
And I think it's time for people in their districts to go, you know what? I thought you had some promise. I thought maybe you were going to enact conservative policies, but the things you're focusing on are not the things that matter to me, and you are out.
Exactly. And I hope so. And I hope that in some of these areas that are traditionally red, right? And I know that Manchin's seat is likely going to go to Jim Justice, best name ever, who's the governor right now of West Virginia. At least that's where people are thinking the winds are heading. You never know until election day, until you realize that there are people that live in some of these states that are paying attention and are looking around and being like, well, what the hell? You know, if a Republican run state runs better than a democratically run state, why aren't they doing better? Why are blue states, right, that always get vilified, oh, the rich elite? We're rich here, right? Money is here. Technology is developed here. I mean, you can bitch and moan all you want, but what is your state doing, Manchin? West Virginia is not doing well. And I think it's quite shocking for him to say, I've done everything I've wanted to do for West Virginia. You didn't do crap to make it better. So I don't understand that line of thinking. And so we'll see. But Manchin doing his, I don't know, victory tour, retirement tour to see if there's an appetite for the middle. You're not the middle, Manchin. You're badass crazy. And you'll likely take credit for things you voted against or tried to stop from happening, like most Republicans or people like you do. So we'll see what happens with Manchin. Okay, let's do some headlines. We will also touch on the Christmas season, the holiday season starting in San Francisco at the exact same time APEC is happening. Big question if they can clean up San Francisco streets. And I'm talking like the Tenderloin areas. Okay, we're not talking about, just, on the Embarcadero, right? In the Tenderloin, historic encampments gone. Why can't we do it any other time of the year? We have some food news. A beloved fast food chain has filed for bankruptcy. There is something at Costco that I told my husband to go buy. And then I was like, oh, do I need that in my house? And then in the second part of the show, of course, Tim Sika is going to talk to us about all things movies and streaming, including one movie that has been characterized as a great test for relationships. And so I'm really interested to see that. And then, of course, I'm going to do a little bit of a montage of a boy that has stolen my heart. Because yes, it is my dog, and he's not even with me right now. My dog Nugget's 3rd birthday today. And so I was going to do a little bit of a montage of all of his photos from the past 3 years. The dog that turned me into a dog person. All right. So that's all coming up. Click the thumbs up button, though. Before we go to Kim's news, show your support for the show. The super chat is, of course, live. Thank you to Harry with a $5 donation. Head to the Red Jack. I would advise you to take your time if you're going to go this week, though, because of APEC. But thank you. The super chat is live. Look for the $ under the live chat box. And then please sign up to be a Medorable. The NikkiMedoroShow.com. Our Patreon link is there. You get to decide how much you can afford. And we appreciate each and every one of you. PayPal is up. And if you go to paypal.com and hit send money, you can send any donations you want to the Nikki Medoro Show at gmail.com. All right, here's Kim with some headlines.
Now, from around the world to up your street, the Nikki Medoro Show presents News Czar Kim McAllister.
It is the Nikki Medoro Show, and I am Kim McAllister. Let's look at Gaza because the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says his country doesn't have any intentions of trying to govern Gaza after the war is over. The Israel-Hamas war now in its 35th day. Israeli troops moving deeper into Gaza. Israel has agreed to daily 4-hour pauses in all the fighting to allow civilians to leave this area and allow more trucks to bring in humanitarian aid. There is what looks to be a delay. Well, a judge is denying former President Trump's request to delay his classified documents trial until after the 2024 presidential election.
I'm sure he does.
Judge could still decide to push the trial date back when the parties all meet in March. The former president is facing multiple charges for allegedly mishandling classified material. No. I have to say allegedly there, but we all saw the pictures of it in the bathroom, so
exactly.
I'm just saying that's kind of mishandling classified documents. I'm just going to say evidence is clear. Newly elected House Speaker Mike Johnson hopes he can avoid a potential government shutdown without putting his position at risk. Good luck. This is nearly impossible. The deadline for Congress to pass legislation to fund the government is November 17th. Kevin McCarthy ousted as Speaker in early October after the House passed a funding bill with Democratic support. A strike scheduled for today in Las Vegas appears to have been staved off. Averted after hospitality workers reached an agreement with Wynn Resorts. The hospitality unions announced a 5-year agreement that covers 5,000 employees. The agreement with Wynn comes one day after similar agreements were reached with Caesars and MGM. So, looks like no strike in the casinos. You can gamble and lose all the money. Yeah, it's okay. All crisis averted. All is well here. Move along. A federal magistrate is denying bail to the Cornell University student accused of making threats against Jewish people. Patrick Dye will remain behind bars until he stands trial. The judge said this 21-year-old suspect's threats remind her of the profiles of some past mass shooters. So he stays in jail. There's some concerning news regarding the tech world again. Tech layoffs, Google, Amazon, Snap, and Zillow announcing new job cuts. It's the latest round of corporate downsizing. Google announcing cuts within its users and products team responsible for addressing user complaints regarding its consumer services. It's the 4th round of job cuts at Google since September. So I'm sure it doesn't feel very good to work at Google right now and have, the axe kind of hovering over everyone's head all the time.
Oh, yeah.
They also did a 3rd round of layoffs in their Waymo division as well.
I mean, I think that, Google obviously has a ton of employees but I know somebody that works there and he kind of leads a team, and it's hard when you have to let people like that go. It doesn't probably in the grand scheme of how many employees Google has, it's not a lot, but locally it's going to make quite the impact. So that
totally
sucks.
is. Social media company Snap is also streamlining. They're cutting 20 product managers there.
Wow.
Amazon, they have job cuts in their music division, downsizing efforts affecting more than 27,000 employees around the world.
Wow. Okay.
And so, Zillow is announcing another round of layoffs this week. They reportedly laid off nearly 24 workers across multiple teams. It's only 1% of their company, less than 1%. But still, the cuts, they say, were made as part of a normal audit. And they're not the only ones. This one doesn't upset me as much or make me feel as nervous because it's my least favorite social media site. Nextdoor layoffs, too.
Oh, really? I mean, how do they make money? Ads, I guess?
Yeah, it's the ads. They're laying off almost 200 people. Profits, they say, remain elusive. That's a 1/4 of its staff, and they are based in San Francisco.
I mean, I can't remember the last time I went on Nextdoor. I think when somebody posts something about the neighborhood and I'll start to read it, but I'm not a huge Nextdoor person. Most of the time when I read about Nextdoor, it's because somebody's post or complaint has gone viral or something.
Yeah.
It's just a bitching and moaning kind of site, right? So I don't know. I mean, Craigslist still exists. So if Craigslist can still exist, I guess Nextdoor can, but you just don't need so many people.
Well, here's the problem. Nextdoor is laying off 99 of the workers of the 200 they're laying off are from its San Francisco headquarters.
Yeah.
Those are Bay Area jobs. Those are good tech jobs, and so many layoffs in the tech sector that it's hard to understand how they can bounce back. I guess everybody has to retrain and go to AI, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Taylor Swift has a chance to move past 3 legends for the most Album of the Year Grammy wins.
Wow.
Her Midnights album is among 8 nominees, that were announced today for the 66th Grammy Awards, set for February 4th in Los Angeles. Swift currently tied with Frank Sinatra, Stevie Wonder, and Paul Simon for the most Album of the Year Grammys. She's got 3.
Wow.
This is like the year of Taylor Swift. So whatever she's doing, I think that she's like, all the things will come to her.
Did you hear the latest with her and Travis Kelce?
No.
Apparently he's going to go on her, at least at some point, to her international tour. And then after she's done, apparently they're already talking about having a baby.
What?
I know. Now, she's older. I mean, she does not have time.
She's 32.
Right. So how long do you date, get married, and then have children?
Date for a year.
A year? Okay. And then get married?
Married at 33. Baby at 34,
well, she
35.
Can't, I mean, she's 32 now, so she's not going to do this until another year. So she might be 33, right? So do you have the baby before you get married?
I wouldn't think so.
I don't know.
Don't you want to
enjoy
enjoy
it's a rumor, Calvin. I'm just gossiping.
Don't you want to enjoy your spouse for a little bit before you?
Apparently,
kids
they're both
change everything.
gung-ho. Apparently, according to some celebrity gossip I was reading, that they're really like straight away.
They dated for 2 months and they know that they want to be parents together already.
No, you're not even. No, like I'm totally against this.
Here's the problem with this relationship. And she's a nice girl. You want her to find the person, especially after all the songs of woe, right?
Yeah.
But this relationship almost seems doomed because of all the public scrutiny on it.
Yeah.
I mean, people see those two and they click. Click, click, click. Everybody wants to know everything about them.
I'm kind of over the clicking. I got this new information, this new gossip, like against my will. I wasn't searching it out. I'm really, honestly, Kim, I like them.
Yeah.
I like that I purposely try to avoid it because I feel like it's just gonna. The more you read, the more you get, kind of thing. And I'm so over it. But she's going back on tour, so who knows if their relationship's going to survive? So we'll see. But
Deidre got married at 33, first baby at 35. That's the way you do. Mm-hmm.
That's quick, in my opinion. I'd like to be married for a while. You know what I mean? Or how about this? Date at least a year before you're even considering bringing a life into it, right?
She says she dated her husband for 11 months and then got married. They were older and they just knew.
Interesting. Deidre, your vote. How long? And I'm asking Deidre because she's met her husband, only dated for 11 months. I mean, are we thinking that this is a good idea? Because I'm leaning towards take your time, Taylor and Travis. That's kind of a cute kind of TT thing. I don't know. I'm glad, Deidre, that it worked for you. I'm just saying if you add also Hollywood celebrity attention onto it, it is
so
typical.
Aussie Rules says typical Hollywood celebrity life. I would say this is more than typical. This level of scrutiny and the financials.
J-Lo and Ben Affleck. I mean, has happened all the time. It happens all the time.
Look at this is like almost like a business. The money that. Is it, are they just duping everybody to kind of make money hand over fist off all the attention on the relationship?
I'm sure their agents have talked like, hey, I am positive this all started because Travis wanted to meet. And I do think that was authentic. I think that he did want to meet her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe get some headlines with the friendship bracelet thing. He made her a friendship bracelet, but wasn't able to talk. And then all of a sudden they saw the attention. They're like, well, let's get these two together. But I'm sorry. And maybe I don't understand Hollywood because I'm not in Hollywood. There is definitely a line where you have to like the person. I mean, they're making out and doing, you just don't do that if you don't actually like the person. Al Anonymous, thank you for the $5 donation. Writes, she came full circle. Her first hit was about being in the bleachers while cheer squad girl gets the football team. Now she has the football man. That's very true. Thank you for that, Al Anonymous. You are absolutely correct. I don't know. And it's just fun to talk about. I wish them the best. I really do. I hope that she gets her fairy tale because obviously, what will she sing about then?
Good stuff. Love and lullabies.
She usually talks about breakups and heartbroken.
Let's have the good stuff. It's time for her to be able to do the good things.
Yeah, I hear
Thank you, Anonymous. Nice contribution.
Thank you.
We just talked about the Sphere yesterday in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Well, there's a developer that wants to build a smaller version of this Las Vegas Sphere in West Hollywood.
Oh.
Thursday, the West Hollywood Planning Commission reviewed plans for the so-called Sphere on Sunset. Designer Say Studio says it won't be an entertainment venue like the one in Las Vegas, but rather a broadcast venue. This sphere would be 49 feet in diameter with a reception room, green rooms, preparation areas, and a broadcast facility. Huh.
Okay, so when you say a broadcast facility, all I keep thinking about are ads. Like, what are you broadcasting? You're not broadcasting the news. What are you broadcasting? You know what I mean?
Is it a center for podcasts?
Well, I don't know. I mean, because I was thinking like you could just put ads on it, and I mean, it's it's bigger than a billboard, right? So you could do something like that. But I like the entertainment aspect of it. I want to go to the Sphere in Vegas to see a concert because it is a sensory overload. Some of the images from the YouTube concert are insane. It was hard for me to even find the band because there was so much stuff going on the Sphere. So yeah, but that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, the
We'll
Sphere
see.
on Sunset.
Nice.
I don't know. And if you know what though, if it's just a giant billboard,
Yeah,
then
that's what. Yeah.
I don't think that's a go.
But then what about the Salesforce building? You know how they do some of the things like they do the eye and they do, it could be something fun to, if your favorite sports team is
That's
playing.
different than buy another Nike pair of shoes. That's
exactly.
different.
That's true. That's true.
This report is sponsored by you. That's why we appreciate all the super stickers so very much. That was good music. And we do rely on you for the support of our show, the NikkiMedoroShow.com. I say our show, but really it's the Nikki Medoro show.
It is our show.
And we're so grateful for your support and for you guys being here every day. It's really, really heartwarming and just, I don't know, humbling. If you'd like to support the show, check our website out, TheNikkiMedoroShow.com. And I'm Kim McAllister on The Nikki Medoro Show.
Yeah, and you guys, honestly, I really appreciate all the support. Ricky and Janet and so many others that want the pin. Do I have another pin? I have my envelope ready to go for my experiment on mailing it. Once that's figured out, Ricky, don't worry. I'm putting your money aside for the pin. I know you want it. There's somebody else. I'm forgetting your name right now. I will get you guys your pins. Don't worry about it. I will get them to you. Might have to bump up the price to handle shipping if my experiment doesn't work, but I will get those to you. So on hold, and then we'll figure it out. I also have some ideas for some more merchandise, funnier merchandise. I know I got a ton of stuff with the logo on it. I want to kind of branch out with different types of things, some of the sayings from the show or things that I find funny. So that's also in the works as well. And just different ways for you guys to support the show, advertise the show for us. But the number one thing that you can do, guys, honestly, is to become a Patreon subscriber. If you could think about what you can afford every single day and then put that in a monthly donation, that would be awesome. Absolutely awesome. And we do appreciate it. Okay. Can you guys just indulge me a little bit right now? And
this is who you've become. This is it.
This is who I've become. And I'm taking away the background because he needs his own attention. He needs his own attention. I'm sorry, but it's a big day in the Medoro household because somebody has turned 3 years old. There he is, Kim.
Oh, he's pretty cute.
That was the day that we got him in his little crate. Nugget is 3 years old. And I'm just going to show it. Look at him. Yeah. I'm telling you, those that followed me from KGO, you guys know that I was not look, this is one of my favorite pictures of him. He has his 49er collar. That thing broke though. Collars, I swear to God, you have to find a good collar. This is right after I got him from the groomers. Look, he looks like a doll, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I swear I talked about this is when it was cold. And then this is today. I took this photo today on his 3rd birthday. He looks very distinguished, very, very distinguished. And then I have to show you the AI pictures that I did of him because you could do doodle AIs. So Nuggets World.
You're funny.
And then I did one with the Niners. That one actually looks like him, right? Yeah. I mean, that's pretty close.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean?
You took the time to do an AI picture of your dog. I don't even know who you are anymore. Happy birthday, Nugget.
Happy birthday, Nugget. See, I'm going to get him a burger. I have a bone for him. I'll get him a puppuccino from, yeah, there you go. I love it. Yeah, my Snuggy Buggy boy. I just adore this dog. He is the dog that made me a dog person. And I'm not even kidding. I could get, and I'm not, again, I'm going to say something that if you follow me for years, you know. It's not that I don't like animals. I'm just apathetic. I'm like, take it or leave it. I don't need it. I don't need a dog in my life. All those little videos or what have you, I'm not one of those people that used to see, dog commercials and be like, oh, no. Now, yes. I swear to God, this friggin' dog has completely changed my life. Honestly, completely changed my life. And it's awesome. I love him. It's been 3 years. It's been the happiest 3 years. He is super cute, isn't he? And now, I mean, and I know that golden doodles are like the in dog, along with what? French bulldogs. Although labs are always, I see tons of labs still. You have a golden retriever, right?
Yeah, Charlotte. I woke up
Charlotte.
this morning, she jumped on me, which she's not allowed on the bed. And that dog, I think I had a child in the bed as well. I think the child called the dog up on the bed while I was asleep, and I got pounced on.
Yeah.
Yeah, really love that dog.
When is Charlotte's birthday? Look how terrible of a dog mom you are. You don't know when her birthday is?
I don't know. I think it's January something. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. Because we got her for Christmas one year, so it has to be, I think it's this month or October. I don't know.
Yeah. So this is his birthday, but this isn't when we got him. We got him January 2nd because we got him right after New Year's. He was our COVID dog, right? Ren asked, does he bark a lot? Yes. He's getting better though. I took him for a walk to my parents' house yesterday, and which is so funny. So I was going to go to the gym, and then he always knows when I'm leaving the house, and he gives me this face. He's like, can I go? And I go, you can't go to the gym, but I'll get my steps in and we'll go see grandma. And so we walked to my mom's house, and he did really well. We were passing all kinds of people, and although he goes, he didn't bark a lot. So I think in his older, mature age, he's calming the hell down. But yeah, Walnut Creek, you were so apathetic. I recall it was quite the decision to get Nugget. Yes, it was very, I didn't want a dog. I didn't. The kids and my husband really wanted a dog. And if you guys remember, I made the promise that when my husband finished HVAC school, because it took him 5 years to go through the whole thing and end it. I was like, okay, when you're done with school and you're not taking night classes and I'm not busy, we'll get a dog so we could be there. And then COVID happened, and he did finish school. And so we got the dog, and yeah, he has definitely just stolen this dog. I swear. I never thought I would be this type of person. So thank you for indulging me. Thank you.
Oh
we will be spoiling him today.
Happy birthday, Nugget.
Happy birthday to my snuggy buggy boy. Okay, let's move on to APEC and the Christmas holidays. So the holidays are here apparently. I love this video. I'm going to show it to you. I think it was from CBS. There's a point where they interview this this teenage girl. She looks like she's a teenager with her mom, talking about Christmas trees, because last night was the official lighting of the Christmas tree.
The lights on the trees, the wreaths on Macy's windows, the ice skating rink.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And the official tree
It's
lighting.
so pretty. It really is pretty.
Yeah.
It's the most beautiful time of the year.
I love Christmas.
Listen to this.
I'm excited. We have our Christmas tree up from last year, so of course I just love Christmas.
Wait,
it's up from last. Yeah, we haven't taken it down.
I love that. I'm assuming it's fake. It's a fake tree, but it cracked me up because you hear the mom in the background. She's like, "Don't tell people that." But let's watch a little bit more, because this again is going to be a really consequential time for San Francisco, because this is where a lot of people usually go to spend some
so she
time.
had to come to Union Square. Liana here is visiting San Francisco from Kentucky with her family.
We were coming back from the pier last night, and we were walking up here, and we seen it, and we were like, "Does it light up?" And we were talking to people today, and yeah, it lights up at 6 o'clock. So we were like, "We'll sit and wait and see it light up."
Macy's tree lighting is an annual tradition. Over the years, it's brought people together at a place known for its festive feeling, a prime spot for shopping.
Got new shoes. These are my new shoes. I just got them.
Unfortunately, it's also a place that's gotten attention for smash and grabs. This year, the city's got plans to improve safety during the holidays. Additional officers, downtown ambassadors, and license plate readers.
What I love about this Union Square is the ambassadors, the people that come and give you information. Everybody's been so friendly. We've loved that.
Liana and her mom, Lydia, say they've felt safe walking around Union Square shopping.
No problem. Our hotel is on Sutter. We walked and had no problems whatsoever.
But are also staying away from other parts of San Francisco.
We did a little bit of questionable stuff.
In attendance was Mayor London Breed, Police Chief Bill Scott, and District Attorney Brooke Jenkins.
All right. So I liked the fact that they were interviewing those people, and they said, we've gone shopping. Yeah, we saw some questionable stuff, but okay, that's going to happen, right? One of the first things I did, and I've told this story before, when I got my job at KGO as a reporter, was covering the lighting of the
I think
Christmas
we've all
tree.
been sent down there.
Yeah. And I told you the story about how I got out of the crowd, right? I pretended that I was going to get sick.
What?
I told that story.
You have to let me go. I'm going to barf.
Yes, that's exactly what I did. I put my microphone in my bag so nobody could see it. I had to get out. I had to go do my hit. And like, I was right by the tree, and I get very claustrophobic. I do. I really like, cause I'm small too. So I feel like I'm just like gonna get crushed by the crowd.
Right.
And so I just put my mic away, and like I walked a little bit so I was away from people that knew that I was a reporter. And then I just covered my mouth and I said, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. And like, this is the universal sign of I'm gonna vomit on you. So everybody, like, it was like the Red Sea just parted.
Oh my
Like,
God.
I got out in like 2 seconds. So that's your tip and trick for getting out of crowds really quickly. But yeah, I got it. But it was gorgeous and it was fun. And I've never seen it since. I'd never seen it before, and I've never seen it since the lighting of the Christmas tree.
I
Because
can't believe
don't
you
do
did that.
crowds.
That's so funny.
Wait, what?
There is an excitement when you go down there, like a community spirit feeling when you're there, where everyone's gathered to look at the same thing and feel the excitement for for Christmas or holidays or whatever. So there is that feeling to it. And then they turn it on, and then you're like, "Oh, that's pretty," and then everyone wanders away.
Yeah, exactly. Or go shopping or goes ice skating. I love Lulu. Says we've had a string of Christmas lights up around our TV since the beginning of COVID. I love indoor lights. Like so for Christmas, and this is our first Christmas in this house, but I do the fake garland with the lights usually around the family room. And I love it. And it always makes me so sad to take it down because I find it to be so pretty. And I think that and I agree. If it's a festive thing and it makes you feel good, then leave it up. Now, would I do a fake tree in my house all year long? I don't know about that. Beth says we have lights in a ficus tree in the living room. They put out a little cheerfulness during the COVID lockdown. Yeah, I mean, if you have a tree, if you have something like that and you decorate it with some lights, I don't think that there was anything wrong with that. I don't think it's like, oh my God, get your Christmas lights down.
Vilma's already going for it. I have my Christmas tree out and up. No ornaments or lights yet, though. Waiting till after Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving, before it all goes up. But that tree's already up at Vilma's house.
Yeah, I have to email my new landlords and see if it's okay if we put some lights on the outside of the house. Nothing on the roof or anything, but I just want to clarify, like to make sure that they're okay with it, because I'd hate to have to be the dark house. That would suck. Although we are going to be one of those, we're participating in the neighborhood thing. I don't know if you guys do this in Petaluma, but it's really big here where the neighborhoods get outdoor Christmas trees delivered either by the Boy Scouts or some other organization, and then they light them up. And so when you drive around, all the front yards have Christmas trees in them. So
that's cute.
Yeah,
no, I've not heard of that before. Okay.
Yeah, so we do that. So this is my first time living in a neighborhood that does that. My parents' neighborhood that's like a mile away, they've always done it, and they go all out. They're one of those neighborhoods. But this neighborhood is my first new neighborhood, and I'm really excited.
Is it like a real Christmas tree, like a big one?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it's not like huge. It's not like a gigantic one, but it's. I don't know. I'm sure it's probably maybe 5.5 feet tall. So, it's maybe a little bit taller than that. And then you just put string lights on it. And so when you drive by, every house has a Christmas tree. I hope my neighborhood does it. I ordered mine. They put a little flyer and they're like, here you go. And it wasn't bad. It was like $25 for the tree, which is probably what I would pay. Well, less than I'd pay for an indoor tree, unfortunately, because
trees are expensive. They're like $75, $100 for a tree or more.
Exactly.
$25 is a steal.
Exactly. So
I'd order one for inside too. I'll take one. I'll give me everything you got.
Can I get two? Yeah, I don't think it's that big of a tree. If you like a smaller tree, and it's not a Charlie Brown tree, but if you like Charlie Brown trees, then that's absolutely perfect. Oh, Vicky in Sausalito is very confused.
Sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, Vilma, you're right. Christmas season is my favorite time. Mine too. Favorite time of the year. It's the festivities. Vicky wonders why I rent my house, because my house that I own a house in is in Sacramento, and I don't live in Sacramento. So, and I'm not buying a house in the Bay Area.
And we can only afford to own one house at a time.
Yeah, exactly. I'm raking it in. No, we bought our house in Sacramento. I was wrong on my timeline. Marley is 14 years old, so we bought our house in Sacramento 16 years ago. So that was a long, long time ago. Artificial tree or real tree, Kim McAllister?
Real.
If you have an artificial tree, you can leave it up all year long.
No. Well, that doesn't. It's not special,
You could do it for the holiday. You could do it for Christmas, and then January you can kind of leave it up for. Some people leave it up. I for religious reasons. And then February, you can have a Valentine's Day tree. March, you can have a St. Patrick's Day tree.
No.
No? April, you can kind of have like a spring tree? No? You don't want to do?
So my sister, my niece, her birthday is in January.
Okay.
And it's always stressful my sister used to think, I have to get all the Christmas decorations down really fast because I don't want my daughter's birthday to be Christmas, right? Like I want her to have her own special day.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And recently, in the last couple of years, they've started, instead of having the stress of all that, having a birthday tree. So they decorate a birthday tree. However, my mom does have a ficus tree as well, and she decorates the ficus tree for every holiday. But she also has a Christmas tree. There's something about a Christmas tree being just for Christmas, you know?
You don't want it to be for anything else. I don't know. I've seen Valentine's Day trees.
Yeah.
That are really cute, like the reds and the pinks and like they'll put hearts and stuff. Like if you have something in your house, a ficus tree or something that's not like a Douglas fir or something, I could see decorating it all the time. But a Christmas tree is definitely special. I'm not quite sure where we're going to put this tree. I like having Christmas trees right at the window, so when you come home, you can see it through the window. I think that's cute. Vicky, thank you so much for the $5. Makes sense about the rental. Yeah. I'm a Bay Area girl though. So, I live here and I love living here. And even though it's really, really expensive. Okay. In time for the holidays, there is a treat at Costco that I want to get my hands on. I have to have really big hands.
I do too. I saw it in the Chronicle or the San Francisco SF Gate. And I thought to myself, I must go to Costco and pick this up.
Yes, a pumpkin cheesecake. You guys know I like cheesecake. It is hands down my favorite. Yellow cake, white cake, nothing. Cheesecake. Love cheesecake. And what I like about this one is not all kinds of crap on it. You know what I mean? I don't like fruit on my cheesecake. I don't like any of that. No. I like New York cheesecake is the best, or you have to infuse the cheesecake with a flavor. This looks delicious. But you know how much? It's a 5-pound cheesecake. Now, I don't know if that's luck. I feel like cheesecakes are heavy in and of themselves, but this is a 5-pound cheesecake.
That's a Costco cheesecake.
Yeah, that's a pretty big one.
That's buying a cheesecake in bulk is what that is.
It has a graham cracker crust, pumpkin cheesecake filling, spiced sour cream topping, which I feel like could cut through the sweetness. You know what I mean? They say it's rich and delicious, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this is good. I was cracking up with my family yesterday. After I walked my dog there. And we were talking about making the same things every year for the holidays. And I was making the argument, we always do that. I mean, everyone normally, the traditional stereotypical thing for Thanksgiving is turkey. You might do ham, I guess, but a lot of people save ham for Christmas. Like a turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, cranberries, a vegetable, green bean casserole, whatever. I am of the belief I don't want people messing around with my Thanksgiving dinner by trying new things, right? I want everything that I'm used to eating at Thanksgiving on the Thanksgiving table. Doesn't that, it just seems to me.
However,
I
recently saw a website of the top 10 Thanksgiving casseroles.
Okay.
And if you wanted to try something new, you can have a new spin on a traditional thing, right? So like there was a cornbread casserole, which looked really good.
Is that like dressing or like a stuffing, you mean? No. Or is it a casserole, like meat and everything in it?
I don't think it had meat in it, but it had corn and cheese. It was cheesy. I don't know. I think you could try some new things, but they have to be in the vein of Thanksgiving, right?
Don't try it at Thanksgiving. Try it the week before. My mom is infamous for doing this, although my mom is an excellent cook and an excellent chef. I go, what is this? And she'll say the name. And I go, is it good? She's like, I don't know. I've never tried it before. This is my first time cooking. I'm like, why are you, don't try it during the holidays. Try it another day. And she normally does. But it's just, I feel fine eating the same thing all of the time. Like you could change how you cook the turkey, like deep fry it, barbecue it, cook it in the oven, but I still want the turkey. You know what I mean?
It's so funny. People are so like married to what they always had. My
Yeah.
mother did that one year, writes Joanne, changed the menu and everyone was disappointed.
Yes. Nobody
Eric
wants
says,
a weird meal.
I still remember one Thanksgiving, my dad tried a new stuffing recipe with raisins and we hated it so much.
No, do not put fruit in stuffing. Do not. And I will maintain, my mother-in-law turned me on to these years ago. She would take stovetop stuffing, put them in muffin tins and bake them. And then everyone gets the crispy, crunchy outside because it cooks in the muffin tin. And then it's nice and fluffy on the inside. Bomb. That's how I want my stuffing from now on. But it's still just regular. Don't make me any weird stuffing. Your stuffing should be bread, some spices and whatever. And then it absorbs the delicious gravy from the turkey. Like, let's not mess with it.
Right.
Let's not mess with it. Now, have you ever had your Thanksgiving catered, or like you'll go to, I know, like I keep driving by it. I would never go
one of
there
those stores where you just order the whole meal and then
or Whole Foods does it, or even fast food, or like one of those places like KFC apparently does a Cajun chicken or Cajun turkey meal. And then a lot of people, because they're filing for bankruptcy, and that's why they're bringing it up. Boston Market is apparently filing for bankruptcy, and apparently they do, I don't know if they're still doing it, a Thanksgiving meal that people would really like.
I used to really like that place in my 20s.
Boston Market. I think I've eaten there a few times in my life. I think they had good mac and cheese or something. Is mac and cheese a Thanksgiving staple in your house?
No.
I was thinking about doing it, but my kids don't eat cheese. So there's no point in making something that is like literally half of the ingredient is cheese.
One year, my mom tried to do potatoes au gratin instead of mashed potatoes.
Ooh, I love potatoes au gratin.
There was a revolt.
Really?
It was a family-wide revolt. Mashed potatoes at Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So she only did the au gratin. She did not even do
right.
Yeah. So I like mashed potatoes. My sister-in-law makes the best mashed potatoes. I remember one year she got really like sensitive about it because somebody else was making it. I wasn't making it right. And people get really, I don't have a recipe like that at Thanksgiving. My husband usually cooks the turkey, whatever way we're making it. He's done it all. He's done it in the oven, on the barbecue, and we've deep fried it. But he's usually in charge of that. I'll sometimes make a side. I think I want to make a really yummy salad. I follow this one woman on Instagram, and she always makes these really cool salads. So I think I'm going to try and make one of her salads that I'm always looking at, and I'll make that.
My aunt makes this salad that's iceberg lettuce or whatever,
right?
Mandarin oranges and avocados. Okay, it sounds
sound
weird,
good. Yeah.
but it tastes so good together. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Lori likes chestnut stuffing. I'm not a big chestnut person, and I love nuts, but I'm not a big chestnut person. There's my friend makes this, and I believe she uses chestnuts in them, and she wraps them in bacon and then puts I think like a maple syrup or something on it. That's pretty good. But yeah, I don't know. I like a soft stuffing, and do not under any certain terms put stuffing inside the bird to cook. No. That's gross to me. I think it's absolutely disgusting.
Talking about Dungeness crab in the chat. A lot of people have that Dungeness crab
but
on
we're not going to have it because they always push back the season every year now, it seems like.
Because the whales are coming through.
Well, then let's stop saying that that's the beginning of the crab season. This is what I don't understand. We don't need to have a headline about the pushing back of the Dungeness crab season when obviously the Dungeness crab season from here on out is always going to start later. Just make that. Like, you can't have it. So we on Christmas Eve, we usually have a cioppino and things like that with all the crab and everything. So yeah, we don't do it for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is turkey. I don't like a carrot and raisin salad. I'm sorry, guys. It's just, I'm not much of a raisin, besides just eating them straight, type of person.
I consider to be raisins dead grapes.
Well, yeah, they're dried, right? Stuffing inside the turkey is more flavorful. It grosses me out, Vicky. I'm sorry. I just feel it's so gross. Like when they scoop it out. No. It's just, you can keep it. You can just totally keep that. And sometimes my mom, when I was a kid, would make some stuffing on the side and then some stuffing in the bird. No way in hell I'm grabbing the stuffing inside the bird. Gross. Aussie says, my mother always made rice stuffing, inserted in the turkey, added sausage and mushroom. Delicious. It sounds good until you inserted it into a raw bird. And then I'm just like, no, thank you.
Well, they cook it like that, right?
I know it's cooked. I know, but it's not appetizing to me. It seems soggy, and I like the muffin tin idea, because then you get a little bit of the crispiness of the stuffing with the softness on the inside. Try it. It's really good. Vilma says, my mom had a turkey stuffing mix with prunes in it. No. I like traditional stuffing. Keep fruit out of my turkey. Sorry, Mom. Yeah, exactly. No, thank you. No, thank you. No,
I'm
thank
kind
you.
of embarrassed to admit, but my favorite kind of stuffing is the stovetop stuffing.
Yes, that's mine too. Yeah. Who doesn't like stovetop? Wasn't that like their commercial line? Like everybody likes there's nothing about stovetop what don't you like about stovetop? It's delicious. It even fakes the funk that it has like onions and like dried onions that get rehydrated or whatever. Fine. Kids will eat it because there's nothing really too crazy inside of it, right? So again, make the stuffing the normal way and then stuff it in muffin tins and then put it in the oven for a few minutes to kind of brown the top and get it crispy. And it's bomb. It is so good. So very, very good. All right. Well, now Randy doesn't like stovetop. There's another kind of stuffing. It comes in the bag. And my husband's probably yelling at me because he always tells me Mrs. something. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Oh, now I have to go. Mrs. Stuffing. That's not what it's called. It's called Mrs. Cubbison's. Cubbison's.
I don't know that one.
Have you ever heard of that one?
No.
So, yeah, my husband got that for us one time. Just between us, I like the stovetop better. I really, really do. Okay, you guys, stovetop poison, too much sodium. Nobody's paying attention to any of that. Yes, thank you, Sherry. Sherry knew who I was talking about. Thank you. Stop. You're not going to yuck my stuffing yum. It's just not going to happen. I know there's chemicals in everything. There's chemicals in the air we breathe. I like stovetop. Are you a cranberry person? I am not. Aussie says Ocean Spray cranberry wiggle commercial. Turkey on the table. Hilarious. I'm not a cranberry person. I feel like I should try it because a lot of people tell me that once you do try it, you love it. Kind of like how I was about corned beef and cabbage. I always ate the corned beef, but I never ate the cabbage until I started to eat the cabbage. And then I was like, oh, so delicious. Okay, let's do some headlines. When we come back, Margaritaville. Wasting away again in Margaritaville. Jimmy Buffett, I guess they had a really great tribute to him during the Country Music Awards. That was really emotional. I didn't see it. But anyways, what I didn't know, and maybe you guys did, I'm not hip to the Margaritaville brand. There's a bunch of Margaritaville resorts, condos, townhomes all across the world, okay? The newest place where there could be a Margaritaville resort is Napa County on Lake Berryessa. So I'll play you a little bit of a report after Kim's news.
This is wine country. This is not margarita country.
I was wondering if you like the idea. That's what a lot of people are saying. They're saying, wait a minute, Margaritaville and all of that, what that image invokes in people, does that align? Now you say Napa County, but this is Lake Berryessa, right? Do you think it could fit within that community? So they're laying out the plan. Some people happy, some people not. Tim Sika will also be joining us to tell us all things movies and streaming. Can't wait to get his reviews because I love them. But first, let's do some headlines.
Now, from around the world to up your street, the Nikki Medoro Show presents News Czar Kim McAllister.
The United States government is facing another potential shutdown. Congress needs to pass legislation to fund the government by November 17th. It'll be a huge test for newly elected House Speaker Mike Johnson, whose predecessor, Kevin McCarthy, was removed as the Speaker by conservatives for relying on Democratic votes to pass a funding bill in September. So I don't know how he's going to make this. He's trying to split it up and do like a stopgap measure for funding, right? You know what I see when I think about that? I think, okay, you're going to have all these different funding measures,
right?
And alongside each one is going to be all this different kind of, pork bills, or well, I'll only vote for it if you give me money for my district, and I'll only vote for this if you give me $500 million for this. No. Pain in the ass. Envelopes with a suspicious powdery substance have been found
Yeah.
at election offices in states across the country. Authorities in Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, and Georgia are investigating these envelopes, which were all received this week. Spokane, Washington police say an initial test of this white powdery substance in one envelope sent to the county elections office was confirmed to have traces of fentanyl in it. Fentanyl.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Tacoma police say their letter only tested for baking soda. Another one sent to Brad Raffensperger's office in Georgia, right? So they're upset about that. Apparently that one may have fentanyl in it. The investigation is ongoing there. What's the point of doing something like this? You send it to election offices in states across the country. Are you trying to get
Intimidate
it, you know,
people. That's what I would
intimidate
say.
people and,
Yeah.
and not have us vote or not, no, America doesn't stand for this.
Well, I hope not. I mean, again, after everything that we learned from January 6th and all of the threats that election officials were getting, you don't think that people are taking a beat and being like, do I even want to put myself in the middle of this again? I mean, honestly, I know that it's a civic duty and people take pride in it. And I really do hope that there's a lot of people that will still do it. But again, I don't need people doxing me, sending me death threats, sending fentanyl or fake fentanyl with baking soda or whatever to my house. I don't need any of that. I could see people saying no. And then you undermine our whole election system. And that's the point, I think.
Speaking of drugs, the majority of Americans say the United States is losing ground on the fight against illegal drugs. A Gallup survey found 52% of respondents said they think the fight against illegal drugs is being lost. Gallup suggesting the shift can be attributed to rising drug overdose deaths, especially from fentanyl. Today and throughout the Veterans Day weekend, several restaurant chains across the country will honor the men and women who serve the country. They'll do that by offering discounts and free meals. Most of the deals are for Saturday. Participating restaurant chains include Starbucks, Raising Cane's, Black Angus, Denny's, Red Robin, IHOP, Golden Corral, and more. People of color are starting to get equal time on TV for the first time ever. UCLA releasing its 2023 Hollywood TV Diversity Report this week. They say that in the 2021-22 season, people of color were getting proportionate representation on broadcast and cable TV. The
Nice.
report found people of color were still largely limited, though, to supporting roles.
Yeah, I mean, I make a point to notice when commercials or TV shows or whatever are diverse, and I make it a point to notice when they're not, right? Especially if I look at older shows. So again, I keep mentioning Gilmore Girls, very white show, very white. Even though like one of the main characters, Lane, the best friend of Rory, is Asian.
Right.
Who else? Right? I mean, I'm sure, I think Miss Patty, she looks maybe like a Latina, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I have no idea. But it's a very white show. All I'm saying. It's very, very, very white show. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but that's not, maybe it is. I mean, maybe that's a good question. If your show is based in an area that is largely white, is there anything wrong with showing it that way? That's a good question. Because I mean,
Don't forget, though, that show was also, how old is that show? 20 years old?
Yeah, something like that. I have no idea. Yeah. It's old. And I get it. But yeah, it's interesting. If you're supposed to represent an area and that area just is mostly white, should the show just represent it in that way? I don't know. A lot of people like cold places. I don't like cold places. So I wouldn't be in that.
I think also nowadays, a lot of people, want diversity in their programming. And so
it's more realistic, right?
You might not get that same type of viewership if you don't, if your show is only geared toward white people or only geared toward black people and not geared toward everyone, you're not going to get as wide of an audience.
Yeah. And I will also say this, it's whenever I talk to somebody, especially from the Bay Area that moves to another location, let's say Idaho or whatever, one of the first things that they say, I don't say it, they say, yeah, there's just a lot of white people. It's as if they notice it, right? Like you look around and you're like, not only with the people that walk down the street, but also all the things that diversity brings you, the food, the events, the culture, all that sort of thing. You don't realize it. Trevor Noah just was sharing a joke that he did. He's like, you could be against, let's say, immigration or whatever. But if you are, then you can't have You can't eat any of their food, right? You can't do any of those things. Like, people forget how much diversity benefits society and how much we benefit all of the time in ways that we're just used to, that we take it for granted. So,
yeah, it's true. Okay, a campaign is underway to rename a terminal at San Francisco International Airport.
okay.
Mayor London Breed, part of this 100-plus person committee to honor the late Senator Dianne Feinstein at SFO.
I like that idea.
The 90-year-old served as the city's mayor for 10 years. Former Mayor Willie Brown is leading this effort. He says it's time to pay homage and say thank you to a female leader who broke barriers and glass ceilings galore throughout her 45-year public service career. So Terminal 1 is already named after former politician Harvey Milk, who was, of course, assassinated in 1978. But another terminal could be named for Senator Dianne Feinstein.
I like that.
Yeah.
I definitely think that they should do that. That's awesome.
The Bay Area is on the verge of another electric vehicle charging hub. There is a very popular Piedmont gas station that could be next to convert. After nearly 100 years in business, the owner sold his place to Shell Recharge, which specializes in powering electric vehicles. No permits have been submitted yet, but the city does confirm the plan and a site survey scheduled for yesterday. The owner admits he'll miss customers, but says, let's try this electric car thing.
Nice.
See how it goes. Yeah. Speaking of cars, I got the new Mustang.
Ooh, that doesn't look too bad.
Pretty nice. Ford has unveiled a new Mustang option for the 2024 year that pays homage to the 1968 model. The Mustang California Special has features including a rave blue grille. Here it is.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the hell's that? Okay.
Pretty nice. There it is.
I mean, it is cool looking.
It
will say
has
that.
blue wheels, you can see. It has side stripes and will be an upgrade to the Mustang GT Premium. Customers have the choice of a coupe or a convertible, either a 6-speed manual or a 10-speed automatic transmission. The option will not include the performance upgrades that come on the 2024 Mustang Dark Horse. The 2024 Mustang is the 7th generation of, they call it a pony car. Yeah.
Do we have a price on this car?
No.
Too much, probably. I don't like the fact that it has to be blue. If I could change the blue part, I don't really like the blue, if I'm being honest. But I mean, I'm assuming it can come in different colors. Like, blue's not going to go with everything. So no, I don't like that.
I like that Mustang. I do.
I like the gray.
Much.
I don't like the blue. I'll be honest. I don't like the blue at all. And if I'm paying, I want to be able to switch that color out or have no color. Right?
I don't know. Yeah, no, I think it's nice. I like the blue. I don't mind it at all. I'll take that Mustang, but I'm a Mustang girl.
Yeah, you had a Mustang, right?
So my first car was a Mustang, a 1968 Mustang, which was, a classic at the time I had it.
Exactly.
And then I had a raggedy 89 Mustang. That was not a good year for Mustangs. That thing fell apart. And then I had a Mustang that was a 1995. And that was a red convertible Mustang. That's the one
had 3 Mustangs. Wow.
I had to sell that when I had kids. But yeah, so I'm a Mustang enthusiast, one could say.
That's awesome. That's nice.
But I kind of like this one. That they have right now the new electric vehicle Ford Mustang. It looks more like a little mini SUV. And it's a nice car, but it just doesn't look to me like a Mustang.
Like a Mustang, yeah. This looks like a Mustang.
This looks like a Mustang. And so I'm glad to see like a Mustang-looking Mustang back in action.
Exactly. That's pretty. Yeah. It is sweet. I just don't like the blue.
I'm trying to find the price of it, and I can't see it. Lots of articles that, they're now going back to the 80s. The Ford Mustang goes back to the 80s in a salute from the darkest days. But I don't know how much it costs. If anyone finds the information.
So this is what is it? A GTCS or whatever?
Yeah. Not that I can afford it. I don't know.
Right. So let's see. Okay. So according to Car and Driver, the coupe starts at $47,610. The convertible, $53,110.
Well, I guess that's how much new cars cost. And I've seen people pay $75,000 for a new car, like just a regular SUV. So
yeah, I mean, I don't
$50,000 for a car. Wow.
No, and I don't buy new cars anyway. No, I would like to start like kind of like a sinking fund for our next car because Marley's going to turn 16 soon. I don't know if she's going to get her license right away, but the Prius is kind of like going to be her car probably. So we'll see. Then Mama needs something. Mama needs something to drive.
I love how they put it right in front of the ocean, you know?
Yeah, well, of course. That's how you sell cars these days.
That's my ride. That's
there you
my
go. That's
if
really
I won
pretty,
if I won the lottery, I think that would be the car I bought.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't know what I would. What would I buy if I won the lottery? What car? I really used to like the minis, but now I don't want a mini anymore. A Mini Cooper. I used to really like those cars. I don't know what I would get. I'm not like a big car person. Something nice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get like a Range Rover or anything. Although they are nice. They're just so big. I would definitely get something that's economical gas wise. Probably a hybrid. I'm not quite sure about an electric, but if I won the lottery, I guess I can afford electricity. So probably. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I would get, but you definitely probably would buy a Mustang.
Yeah, I get that car. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm not getting it now, though. This report is crowdfunded by you.
It is. Help us buy our new
you.
cars.
Yes. That's not going to happen.
No, it's
the
not.
NikkiMedoroShow.com is where the Patreon and the PayPal links are located. You'll also find some other cool stuff there as well. So check it out, the NikkiMedoroShow.com. And I'm Kim McAllister on the Nikki Medoro Show.
Thank you, Kim. Yeah, there's a lot of people. I don't know if a convertible Prius would work just because of the aerodynamics of a convertible. Are they as good? I don't know. I don't know the science on whether or not convertibles are more or less aerodynamic. I feel like they're not, simply because it's this whole open gap, right? That could kind of suck in the air and maybe be a drag, but maybe not. Maybe I have that all wrong. I'm not a scientist on that sort of thing.
Oh, Armando also going for the Mustangs. Nice, my friend.
Yeah, I had a 68 Mustang as my first car as well. Later bought an 84 Mustang GT convertible. I've never had a convertible in my life.
Well, you got to have a convertible at least once. You know who is also a Mustang enthusiast is Sam.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And also, Brian Copeland has a classic Mustang.
Really?
Yeah, he's got like the 64.5 cherry red convertible. Used to see him roll out of the KGO parking garage in that thing, and he's like, "Oh my god, that car is awesome!"
I like the idea of a convertible. Obviously, I'd want a hard top. I wouldn't want a soft top convertible. But then I hear horror stories about getting in an accident in a convertible, and I'm like, maybe it's good to have a roof.
I'm in my mom car days now. My Mustang days are gone.
I don't even care what my car looks like. They're like, "Oh, do you like your Prius?" I'm like, "It gets me from A to B, dude, and I don't have to spend a lot of money on gas. That's all I care about it." Okay, I did want to get into the Margaritaville resort that's being proposed in Napa County. It's not wine country. We're talking about Lake Berryessa. Here's a little report from our friends over at ABC7. They've had a meeting, and the review is a little bit mixed on whether or not people want to see Margaritaville in their backyard.
It's a win-win. The area on Lake Berryessa that we're talking about is the Steel Canyon Resort area. It's on the southwest side of the Napa County Lake. You can see it here on the map and in the picture. Margaritaville Hotels and Resorts has properties all across the country, including 4 here in California. Community members who spoke at Tuesday night's meeting are very concerned about this project.
That just doesn't seem like nature-based recreation to me. The very idea of something called Margaritaville in Napa County is kind of cringy.
I am blown away by the size of this. That's a city. That's not rural recreation.
This is way, way too large. This is a development for the lake, not for a destination for a lot of people to sing Jimmy Buffett.
I'm a biologist, a naturalist, and I am a Jimmy Buffett fan. Nevertheless, I have a huge problem with such a trendy concept as Margaritaville, which does indeed make me cringe.
Officials say the revenue generated by a project like this would eventually allow for a new police station, improved fire services, and road improvements. But this is an approval for a 2-year negotiation, so they have to work at the design environmental impact, and so much more.
All right. And that, of course, ABC 7. Now, this would include developers are proposing the resort would have 425 bungalows and cottages, an RV park, a clubhouse, a restaurant, and a fishing pier with 50 boat slips. I like the idea, but I know I don't live in the area. So but Lake Berryessa, it's not in wine country, people. Okay. So I just feel like when you go to Lake Berryessa, you're boat people, you're resort type of people. I'm going to be stereotypical, throwing back some beers or some margaritas. Like, is it really that big of a stretch to say that Lake Berryessa, yes, it's in Napa County, can't handle something like a Margaritaville? I think it could bring so many people and be a destination for so many people. I didn't even realize there were so many locations, but a lot of them are in Florida. And then they have one in Belize. They have all kinds of these Margaritaville places. I didn't realize that.
They just opened. Yeah, he was a very good businessman. They just opened one, or it's going to open in Lake Tahoe. So I feel like we have one near us already. This is the Jimmy Buffett Suite at the Lake Tahoe.
So where in Lake Tahoe? South Shore or North Shore, does it say?
It does. It is on... 4130 South. Lake Tahoe Boulevard in South Lake.
Okay, so South Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I didn't even know that there was one in Lake Tahoe.
Yeah, it's brand new. They just put it up. They have a pet policy too. Let's look at that. Oh yeah, they have a pet policy there.
Nugget, we can go.
Right, your best friend is always welcome here. Oh,
well, now you kind of sold me, man. I mean, that sounds awesome. How much is it? Do they give you any prices? You're on the website.
For each pet, a daily $50 fee will be added to your reservation.
No, but how much are the rooms? Do we know how much the rooms are really going for? So, I mean, I'm assuming it's probably based on days. Like if you want to go for Christmas, I'm sure it's a hell of a lot more. Look at that. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming it's like any sort of hotel or motel, not motel, but resort kind of thing. It's probably a couple $100 a night, I would assume.
Maybe
it looks
more.
like fun.
I mean, more. Say we want to stay this weekend, Jimmy Buffett. Let's go.
Let's see how much. I mean, I just feel like people are being stereotypical with the whole Margaritaville thing. It's just a nice resort that has a theme, in my opinion, right? It's just, do you want to go? You like Jimmy Buffett music. You like that laid back style. It's not like you have to have a button down or what have you. John, you seem a little bit surprised by the $50 a day to bring your dog. Dogs can do damage, so that doesn't actually surprise me. I'd pay $50 if you're going to board your dog or pay a pet sitter and not bring your pet. I think it's comparable, and now you got to bring your dog.
So apparently this opens, the Jimmy Buffett Tahoe opens December 14th.
Oh, so it hasn't even opened yet.
So it's not opened yet. We can't go this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's not giving any prices yet. Okay.
No.
It's probably sold out too.
Yeah.
I would imagine. But that's fun. And the Northern Lights Festival is happening at the same time.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? I mean, do you think that it's a good idea to put Margaritaville there? Now Maud says Berryessa, go for it. They need jobs up there. That's a good point.
Well, and this area is also very scary during fire season.
Ooh.
When fire breaks out up there, and it happens. It didn't happen this year, knock on all the wood everywhere, but when they said we'll add an extra fire station, I thought, well, that might be worth it. If you tell me it'll add 3, I'm even more on board, right?
Lulu says they would have to improve the roads to get people out in case of a fire. Good point.
True.
Absolutely. Jim says Margaritaville should make the Napa train go from Sacramento Airport all the way and add stops for all the food stops in Yountville and more. Great idea, right? I mean, there's so many things you can do when you have a draw like Margaritaville. Kim, though, thinks it looks way too luxe for the Berryessa boaters. Yeah, but it could draw people that want to go to that sort of resort. I feel like my friend, one of my really good friends, parents used to own on Lake Berryessa. I think that's where they used to have their house. They moved it. Might have been Lake Berryessa that they were on, but that was a long time ago.
Lake Tahoe, standard suite, opening day, Thursday, checking in December 14th when it opens, and checking out Sunday the 17th. The standard suite with a king bed is $200 a night.
Yeah, that's what pretty much for a resort. I would figure it'd be something like that.
Yeah.
Standard room, and you're in Tahoe, so
it's a grand opening offer. Enjoy 20% off the best rate, $240 per night for the Margarita grand opening offer. And that includes a $50 resort credit per day, 2 complimentary signature cocktails upon arrival,
Done.
a resort fee discounted to $25. Oh, it's one of those where there's a resort fee as well, right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So the quote they give you for the room, tack on a resort fee.
All the junk fees.
Yeah.
Now, Linda says she lives a few miles from Lake Berryessa. I kind of like the idea. It would be fun.
Okay.
See? Beth says there used to be a lot of trailer parks up there. That'd be a great place to have a boat rental business like Spanish Flat used to. Vilma likes the idea because nothing's there. It's just parched land with a lake. Yeah. I feel like, although the concern about the fire does get to me, though. You know what I mean? Like, they really do need the infrastructure, and this would take a little bit of time. Jennifer says Jimmy Buffett played South Tahoe. Of course, there should be a Margaritaville resort. So yeah, we'll see what happens. We're going to keep our eye on it. I think anything that draws tourism dollars, which can help with infrastructure, I think is the best way to go. Yeah, it's 137 acres though. That's a lot. It has 2.8 miles of shoreline. That's nice. That's really nice.
It doesn't look too fancy.
Well, it's Margaritaville, right?
Pretty views out the windows, but it's kind of a laid back kind of place.
Yeah. One critic, though, urged the Board of Supervisors to reconsider, telling the Chronicle she was concerned the county's plan to foster development of resorts for thousands of people was not sustainable in a rural setting. It's like building small cities in very, very rural areas. It happens, right? Somebody else was saying, why pave paradise and put up a parking lot? I forget who it was. I get that mentality, but again, it's also bringing much needed funds. If people live out there and they need police, fire, those sorts of things, how do you do that? How do you do that when there's no jobs?
Yeah.
How do you do that when there's no money flowing into it to pay for it? You don't. So this could do it. And if you do it responsibly, if you build up the appropriate infrastructure, you do the roads, you make sure that there's contingency plans in case of fire, those sorts of things, you have to be smart. It'd be interesting to see what the insurance on a place like that costs. Michelle, I forgot. Yes, you are very right. Although I think he's black, but I don't know. He doesn't look full black, like 100%, but that mixed at least. Mimi says, I'm also a multi-ethnic person with Black heritage, and I'm a huge Gilmore Girls fan.
Did you just tell Michelle he's not black enough?
No, I just think that there's something else in him. I'm just saying there's something else. He looks like he's mixed. That's what I meant. Not that he's not black enough. He looks like he has something, but I could be wrong. He could be 100%, but
John says too expensive for my blood. I'm more of a get a campsite at Emerald Bay, make my own margarita.
Yeah, buddy. I hear you.
We know how I feel about that. No,
yeah, Kim's not camping with us. Maybe if we ply her with enough margaritas, but I don't know. I'm not a margarita person though, at all. I'm not.
I kind of like the whole Jimmy Buffett hotel situation.
Thank you. I think I'm gonna have to check out the Tahoe one.
Tahoe one. Well, let's plan that so we can meet there at the same time.
I mean, I feel like going there also in the summertime or spring. You know what I mean? It starts to get a little bit warmer. That sort of thing could be really, really fun. I'm not a cold person. You guys know how I feel about the snow. So Doug says you can bet that will bump up the infrastructure. Hopefully they will have more music than just Jimmy. He would have wanted it that way. Oh, yeah. I'm wondering, I mean, are they going to have some sort of
venue
live music? I would hope so. I mean, I'm not talking about a huge, gigantic concert hall or something, but some place to play live music. Have events. You need people. You need tourist dollars to get things paid for. I hear you, Vicky. America's overrun with cheap, disgusting strip malls development. It's being done all wrong. Yeah, there was a story. I mean, speaking of development and housing and things like that, here in San Jose, we're losing or might lose, I think something like 4,000 housing units. Remember the builder's remedy where if you don't build enough, then they could build wherever they want? It's being used in a reverse way for affordable housing, where developers are saying it's too expensive. I mean, it is ridiculously expensive to build quote unquote affordable housing. They're cutting back. In some places where they had planned hundreds of housing units, they're going down to 0. So there has to be a plan. It has to make sense. I know San Jose is way different than Lake Berryessa or Napa County. But yeah, you have to definitely do it in a way that makes sense or people aren't going to like it. Okay, enough of that. While we wait for Tim Sika to come up, there was a decision in the Robert De Niro case. Did you see this? Really quickly.
Know that it come to. Oh, he was a settlement, right?
Yeah. So, there was he was found liable for discrimination and retaliation. His company, Canal Productions, found liable for gender discrimination against a former longtime assistant, Graham Chase Robinson, who accused the actor of harassment and retaliation. Jury of 4 women and 3 men returned a split verdict, finding De Niro did not discriminate against Robinson based on gender, but his company did, whatever the hell that means. They also determined the actor did not retaliate against the former assistant, but again, the company did. I think this is just kind of a protection type of thing. That's why you set up these companies, right? Against these sorts of lawsuits. So they decided the company owed Robinson $632,000, less than obviously the $12 million that she wanted. They're really happy that they got something out of him, though. At least they got $600,000. For De Niro's counterclaim, the jury ruled that his team did not prove that Robinson had stolen those 5 million frequent flyer miles or breached her fiduciary trust or was disloyal to the company. So they threw out his countersuit. It got really testy. The whole scratching a back thing and screaming at her from the while he was testifying was really, really funny. I don't think that this is true, though. Lady Beatrice says De Niro's finished. Like Ezra Miller, no one will ever watch him again. Mark my words. No,
I don't think so.
If Mel Gibson could be on my TV,
yeah,
Robert De Niro is not going anywhere. Like, no. This, like, mistreating your assistant, I'm sure there's many people in Hollywood that are like, I've done worse. Which isn't a nice thing to say, but no, Robert De Niro is Robert De Niro. Sorry, Lady Beatrice, I'm going to really disagree with you there. Literally, my husband was watching some series. I'm brain farting on the name of it. And Mel Gibson was on my TV, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, why is? And we were talking about Sexiest Men Alive. Mel Gibson was the first People Magazine Sexiest Man Alive. God, how much he's fallen out of favor in my eyes. Like, I used to watch anything with Mel Gibson in it. Anything.
Yeah.
I loved him in Lethal Weapon. I loved him in that movie, What Women Want. I thought that concept was awesome. Still a good movie, and I'd still watch it. I just don't like Mel Gibson as a person. I think he's crazy and he's gone off the deep end, but whatever.
You were just talking about not liking snow. I just want to tell you that some California ski resorts are welcoming fresh snow this week. Mammoth Mountain is kicking off its season today. Another one is expected to follow tomorrow. Next week, it's Heavenly Ski Resort, Boreal Mountain, and 3 more. And then more open on the week of Thanksgiving. Yeah. A lot of them extended last season into March because of all the snow. So it'll be interesting to see how this snow season goes.
Go get your skis on or your snowboards or your sledding and get it done. I like it warmer. I like to take the kids up there, but then have a nice hot toddy or something to keep me warm. All right, let's talk movies and streaming now with our friend Tim Sika.
Yay.
Happy Friday, my friend.
Hi, ladies. Happy Friday to you too.
Tim Sika.
Hi.
You have a couple of movies on here that I'm really interested on seeing. What I didn't see, and then I realized it's probably not out yet, although I thought it was that Songbird of Snakes and Songbirds, the Ballad of the Hunger Games movie.
Oh yeah, the Hunger. No, I think that it premiered in LA. I think.
Okay, I thought I saw it. I was like, and it wasn't on your list. I'm hoping that you're going to be able to review that for us next week, though.
Oh, I will. Yes,
okay,
I will definitely review it next week.
Because it's getting mixed review. Well, I guess the people that saw it in LA, it was a little mixed. So I can't wait to see what you think because I'm going to see it anyway, and I want to know if I'm wasting my time.
Well, the red flag with those movies is when they tell you what the embargo is, and if the embargo, and I think the embargo for that movie is the Thursday before it opens, it usually means they don't want any early reviews because the word of mouth is not so good. So I think this one is under that rubric. I think it's so we'll see, but it might be good. Who knows?
All right, hold on. I gotta go yell at my dog. 1 second.
Oh, it's Nugget.
It's Nugget. Happy birthday, Nugget. He's like scratching the floor behind me. I hear you, buddy. Happy birthday. Okay, let's get into this. I'm excited about this movie. I'm hoping you liked it. The Marvels.
The Marvels. Are they still making these Marvel movies? Yes, they're still making these Marvel movies. This is the like what? The 789th one or something?
People love it. People love it.
I guess. Okay, well, this is a sequel to 2019's Captain Marvel, right? Starring Brie Larson.
Who I love.
Oh God, I love her too.
I love her.
Yeah, she plays Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, whose DNA was somehow altered in some kind of accident and that imbued her with superhuman strength, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what to say about any of these movies anymore. I'll tell you what I loved about this one, Nikki and Kim.
Oh, no.
Well, it's running time. It's an hour and 45 minutes.
Oh, good. Okay.
And like 10 of those minutes are end credits. And that's a far cry from the usual 2.5 hour, 2 3/4 hour runtime of these epics. That, though, it's funny. I think it helped, and it hurt this one. It helped in that for those of us with superhero fatigue, and believe me, I've got a bad case of superhero fatigue. It made it easier to negotiate our way through the damn thing, but it hurt it, I think, in that a lot of it seems kind of rushed. And so I don't know.
It's not like I was gonna say maybe it's action packed. It keeps moving. It's so quick.
It that's funny. It is quick, but to me it felt like maybe it could have used a little more padding. Anyway, I don't know. Do you even want to notice about? I think I've forgotten.
When you say the thing the first thing out of the chute is the thing I liked about it is that it was short. I'm like,
Well, only because a lot of times I have to really gird my loins for these movies because I always look because I'm always planning what I need to see and everything. And I go, okay, it's a Marvel movie, so how long is it? 2 hours and 48 minutes. Okay, so and it was just nice. I mean, it was, and I should say to people who are planning on going to see this because people are going to know if they want to see this movie or not, right? There is an interesting Easter egg after the credit roll,
right?
The cast
I heard about
credit
that.
roll.
Yeah.
Yes, but you don't have to sit all the way through to the end because there's nothing at the end. But there's a kind of cool Easter egg that I think will get people interested in seeing the next one. Apparently, they're primed for it, even though this one's not expected to do very, very well.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
This also has to do with like different multiverses, something like that, right? I feel like this is like the thing to do.
It has something to do with like the collapsing of the supreme intelligence. There's a civil war going on, and there's a retrieval of quantum bands and quantum entanglement. In other words, what you said, multiverse.
Because I mean, everything from Spider-Man to Loki to it seems to be that's the thing. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Even right? It's just it always seems to be the theme in recent years with these movies to explain nonsense.
Right? To get away with like not making any sense.
Exactly.
But another good thing though about this one is that they added 3 additional lead ensemble women characters. They added that to the mix, so it's kind of like in one sense it's a feminist movie. I like the addition of the new characters. It's just and I there's lots of action.
It's okay if you're into Marvel. I guess go see it, but if not, you could probably wait for it to be streaming. Right?
That's all we needed to say from the beginning of this review. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's move on then to The Killer.
The Killer. Yeah. The title
Michael
says it all.
Fassbender.
Yes, he's good actor. This is this is a violent drama. It's a violent thriller. It's directed by David Fincher. He's one of my favorite directors. I'd see pretty much anything with his name attached to it. He did Fight Club and Benjamin Button. He did The Social Network. He also did Zodiac and Seven, right? And this one, The Killer, is similar to Zodiac and Seven insofar as it's like dark subject matters is concerned because it's about this unempathetic, unsympathetic, cold, methodical, calculated killer for hire, played chillingly by Michael Fassbender, who's this guy. He's really mastered the dead stare in this movie, which every time he does this dead stare, you know that there's going to be carnage, right? So
Right,
anyway,
exactly.
but anyway, it's a simple plot. It's the killer of the title, the Michael Fassbender character. He screws up this planned killing of some high-ranking individual in Paris. Somebody else is killed instead. So the killer guy goes on the run. He winds up in one of his many hideout homes, only to find his girlfriend there, barely alive, unspeakably attacked by assassins trying to zero in on him for trying to kill this high-ranking official in Paris. So the rest of the movie is the killer of the title going in search of the people responsible for doing this to his girlfriend. And well, well made, well crafted, really well acted and directed. But unless you're a fan of these types of movies, and by types I mean violent movies where one character after another meets really
Awful
violent
death.
and and I'm talking like really, really awful. Now where this movie is unlike Zodiac and Seven, which when I heard Michael Fassbender was directing these, I thought, okay, well this is gonna be good. They were like, this one was gruesome and graphically violent like those two other movies, but those two other movies were substantive and the audience is put through a ringer for a reason. This one, you're put through the ringer for no reason other than the violence. And if your jam is grooving on violence, I mean, I think you'll love this movie. I just thought when it was over, I thought, why did I even put myself through this?
Interesting.
Yeah,
And this
'cause
is streaming, right? So it's not like we have to pay to go see it.
Yeah, it dropped. It actually, it didn't open in our neck of the woods, Nikki, South Bay. And I missed the press screening. Apparently, it's been playing in select theaters for the last 3 weeks, but it drops today on Netflix.
Okay.
So oh God. Oh no!
All right, so it's brutal. It's a brutal one for those, but not with much substance. So it's not a Seven. It's not like a Fight Club,
and it's
which is
not
brutal, but there's a story there.
Right.
You
Same
know?
with Zodiac. It's about the
Zodiac
killer in San Francisco. Yeah. Anyway.
All right.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
No, yeah, Kim's a no on that. Okay, well, let's move on to something completely different. The Mission.
I knew Kim was going to be a no on that one. I wasn't even trying to convince her. The Mission. Oh, a story I never knew about, but one that made the news apparently. This is a documentary. It's being released by National Geographic, and I know that's like people going, that's boring. No. This is directed by Bay Area filmmakers Jesse Moss and Amanda McBain, and it's about this 26-year-old evangelical Christian missionary named John Allen Chow. And apparently this made the news when the guy died in 2018, but he was killed by this isolated tribe called the Fentanyl-laced. It's an isolated tribe that we know where they live. They live in the Sentinel Islands, but we're not supposed to go there because they've made it pretty much known to us that they don't really want. And there's other tribes
human
like
contact
this.
or
They don't
whatever,
want human
right?
contact because they don't want to be. Anyway, he is killed by this tribe trying to convert members of the tribe to Christianity.
Maybe they didn't want to be converted. Message received.
Well, exactly. This is one of the best movies of the year. It's one of the best documentaries of the year. It's this like multi-layered think piece, really, but that sounds a little pejorative. It's really an excellent and nuanced indictment, I think, of the dangers of clinging to religious dogma and unexamined personal beliefs. It's about the perversion, I think, of spiritual faith. And in the end, to me, it was about religious insanity. But it's about a lot more than that. What I loved about it is that it kept morphing into something else. When it started, I almost wanted to stop watching it because I thought way too much religious blathering in this. I'm not going to watch this. But the filmmakers I think they use that to sort of like pull you in. And then it turns into this other story, morphed into this movie that would best be seen. Well, for one, without me saying much more about it, but this is the kind of movie that post-movie Q&As with the filmmakers were invented for because it explores so much more than what I'm talking about. Not only about this young man who was killed, but it explores all of the reasons why this is such a tragic tale. And it's a great documentary because, well, I think a great documentary does a number of things. It teaches you something you never knew. It takes you places that you've never been and probably will never go to. It entertains, it enlightens, it makes you really think. And probably the most important thing about it for me is that it teaches you something about yourself. And I was like taken aback at how I was reacting to a lot of this stuff, only to within like minutes going, oh, well, I didn't know that.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, it really tells you a lot about, at least it did to me. So I thought it was an amazing film. Somebody said in the movie that when the filmmakers were trying to interview people that knew this guy, and a lot of them were reticent to talk because a lot of these religious leaders, I don't think they just didn't want to take responsibility for it or any of what happened. But one of the people on camera says talking about the young man that was killed, like talking about him revealed so much more, but at the same time it concealed so much. And that's what this movie, The Mission, does. It does both of those things. It's a great movie. It's just a great movie. Yeah.
Nice. That's really, you've hooked me to that. I would have, when I like read your little just line about it, I was like,
yeah, I know, right? I know.
About a missionary. I don't think so, but that's interesting.
No, it's really, really good. And it's just so much more. Things are just always, and we always forget this, and this is not a great pearl of wisdom, but really things are never, I think, or rarely as simple as they appear. Things are complicated. Life is complicated. People are complicated. Anyway, great movie. Great
awesome
movie. Yeah.
But it makes you wonder just how history would have been different if when the Christians came and tried to convert you, if that was the reaction across the board, then Hawaii would still belong to Native Hawaiians, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the whole world would just be different. It would be everything would be different.
There's a great movie called Hawaii. I don't know if either of you have seen it. It came out in the 60s. It was with Max von Sydow and Julie Andrews, and it was this drama about Christian missionaries going over to Hawaii to quote unquote convert the heathen. I mean, and it was kind of a disaster initially. Anyway. Anyway.
All right. Well, The Mission, that looks really, really good. We have time for one more movie, and one more is on your list. This movie, before I click over to it, I am really interested to see because I want you to tell me if this is true. It's a good test for relationships. And it's called Anatomy of a Fall.
I'm a little late to the party on this one, but I finally caught up to it because I heard so many incredible things about it. It won the Palme d'Or at Cannes Film Festival. It won Best Actress, all these other accolades. And I'm really happy to say that I'm so wary of hype, but this more than lives up to its hype.
Oh, cool.
It is a superb psychological drama. And like The Mission, it's about a lot of things all at once, and it's as multi-layered as hell. And it's really two things. It's a courtroom drama, a very compelling courtroom drama, and a riveting dissection of a marriage in free fall. And what it's about is that it's a German writer of fiction played by Sandra Hüller. She won Best Actress at Cannes. She's going to be nominated for an Academy Award. She plays a German novel writer who's accused of murdering her French husband, and the only witness to what happened is their blind 12-year-old son. The title, Anatomy of a Fall, is like twofold in terms of like literal allusion. It describes how the man died. He fell off the balcony of the couple's home or was pushed. But it also serves as this taut description of a crumbling marriage. And it's a magnificent film. Great acting, great script, great direction. It's a highly charged and compelling courtroom drama and character study. It's still playing in select theaters. It's going to figure into this year's Oscar nominations, and you are going to argue forever as to whether the woman in question really did kill her husband.
Interesting. Now, is it in English or is it in French?
It's funny. They speak this little bit of German, a little bit of French, but a lot of English. In my mind, I recall it as an English language movie, but I don't know what classifies now as a foreign language movie, because they
Right,
actually
right.
speak 3 languages in this, but it's mostly in English, and then I think the French is subtitled. But
Okay, perfect.
you'll
Okay.
forget about that the minute you get into the movie. It's one of the best films of the year, no question.
Yay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And that's
All right.
okay. Now you said it's in select theaters still and not widespread.
Yeah, it's I had to like search for it. I had to
Okay.
travel a distance to see it, but it's in Bay Area theaters. I think the closest South Bay theater is in Sunnyvale, and then it's playing in San Francisco and in Berkeley too. But yeah, great movie.
Anatomy of a
A
Fall.
Fall.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, lots of fun movies to watch. Tim
Yeah.
Sika. I don't think we'll see the Marvels, but we'll check out the other things that you reviewed today. Next
right.
week, we are gonna talk about the Ballad of
Oh,
Songbirds and Snakes.
Yep, right.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed. 'Cause
Okay,
I
we'll
really
see.
liked the
You know
book.
what? I'm not holding my breath, but you
You
never know.
might like it. You never know.
I like the other movies a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Thank you,
All right.
Tim. Have a
All
great
right, talk to you
weekend.
guys next week. You too.
All
Bye-bye.
right, bye-bye.
Bye.
That's awesome. Yeah, Anatomy of a Fall. I loved all the hype surrounding it. So I think if I had to choose, I think that's at the top of my list. Although you can see The Killers or The Killer on Netflix if you have that as
Mission
well.
wasn't on my radar, but I'm going to seek that one out.
Yeah, that one looks really good. Although I think I'm
Right.
going to wait for that one to be streaming. I like to watch documentary type movies in the
Yeah.
comfort of my own home. Hold on, somebody had said, and I wanted to mention it. Oh, anyways, maybe it was just Tim had mentioned it earlier. He was wrong about Five Nights at Freddy's. I guess it's been
Right.
doing a ton of. I'm going to go on record and say this. The amount of revenue Five Nights at Freddy's has plummeted. So I still think that Tim was right. Although my son saw it and he thought it was really, really good. So maybe it's just not our cup of tea. But anyways, no, Anatomy of a Fall is in theaters. It is not on Netflix. So let me go over them. The Marvels is in theaters. The Killer is the only one on our list on Netflix. The Mission is in theaters, and Anatomy of a Fall is in theaters. So there you go. Check it out. Let me know. TG says Anatomy of a Fall is playing at the Oakland Piedmont Theater. So thank you for that. Just Google it, All right, you guys, that's our show. Have a fabulous weekend. I do want to say thank you to all of the veterans out there. Tomorrow is Veterans Day. If you can make a parade to show your support, I know so many men and women would really appreciate it, as families as well. Let me also give thanks to people that donated to our super chat. Vicky with a $5 donation. Thank you very much. John came in with $1. Thank you, thank you, John. Al Anonymous, $5. And congrats to my hubby for sticking with and finishing HVAC school. The best decision he made besides marrying me. Al Anonymous with a $5 donation. Thank you so much. And Doug also came in with a $5 donation. And then Harry started us off with the $5.
Yeah.
Go to the Red Jack Saloon on Bay Street in San Francisco. Say hi to Lori and Mark above the bar. Have a Kimikaze, a Medoro Mule, or a Martini to support the show as well. All right, you guys, have a great weekend. We'll all be back on Monday. Bye-bye.
Nikki, you're all so awesome. You're sprout like a beautiful blossom. You're also the best. I really can't rest. You're all so awesome.
Wow. Okay.